Come here, son, nephew, young man. Let me holler at you. If you don't have much experience working, if you've never been in any type of position where you manage people, manage a budget, or have any political influence, you need to listen carefully, because some of the terminology, some of the scenarios may not make sense to you right off the bat. You may even need to revisit this video or watch it more than once. You hear me emphasize having some form of your own operation. Now, that don't necessarily have to just be a business. For example, if you like to do community service, a lot of times it is good to join an organization and learn. But once you get a certain amount of experience, and when you know things need to go a certain way, sometimes you got to do your own thing. Now, in situations where power, wealth, and influence, whether on a small level or a higher level, and listen to what I said, power, wealth, I should have said power or wealth or influence or a combination. When those things are involved and you are, there's two ways you can be a part of something like that. Either A, you ask, can you be a part? Or B, your services are requested. The preference should be for your services to be requested. If you find yourself trying to get in a position of power or wealth or influence or any combination, and you go asking, you got to realize people who run in these types of circles, they know each other, they trust each other, and if they don't, whatever type of circle it is, it ain't gonna last. Whatever type of movement or organization it is, it won't last. If you try to join whatever clique or organization and everybody else has been vetted and you have not, you're gonna have to prove yourself. And here's the problem with that. Maybe they actually want you, but you're asking. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just have you prove yourself, and that's it. Maybe they use you like a dummy, and then you don't get anything from it, and you never join, you never gain from it. You don't need to be trying to join everybody's organization. And I can tell you, if you put this on a scale dealing with corruption, the more corrupt an organization is, first of all, you really shouldn't want to be in it if you know it's corrupt. However, the more corrupt it is, the more you better understand that if you're going to be in it, somebody needs to have invited you. Because that means you're dealing with sharks now. Not baby shark, no, daddy shark. You're dealing with daddy shark. You're dealing with that great white shark and that hammerhead that smells blood from miles away. And they coming this fast, and by the time they know, they're on you, you're done. If you got pure motives, you're a good person. It's almost flooding out here. That's why y'all men, you need to have a truck and get you a little bit more clearance. Give yourself a better fighting chance when that water gets high. Anyway, you know, when I was a kid, we were told that, hey, just get an education. And I'm talking about the demographic I come from. Get an education and keep your nose clean and do the right thing, and you can have anything you want. That's half of it. The other half is you got to understand psychology and you got to understand politics. Now, you can get to the point where you've built your skill set up, and it's chilly out here, I'm sorry, and I ain't turned the heater on. I guess I should. You can build yourself up to the point where your services are requested and people know you're the best at what you do, or very good at what you do, and then opportunities are offered to you. in my opinion, based on what I've known, what I've experienced, by trying to move up in my case, the field of education, but in some other cases as well, when you start trying to knock on doors and move up, and nobody said, we want you to move up, it can be all types of setups and landmines. And the best experiences have been, as of, the latter part of my life, or most recently, now in the fields that I deal in, because I don't just deal in education anymore. I don't limit myself anymore. Now opportunities get offered to me, and then I can discuss the terms and conditions of whatever situation, instead of just taking what's offered. Because when you just taking what's offered, that can turn out all types of ways. So learn to build yourself up and get to the point where you have options, rather than being in situations where you have to try to knock on doors and get in. You want to be invited in, not just barely get in. You don't want to be having to force your way in and prove that you're worthy. You want people to already consider you worthy and come looking for you, but that takes time, and that's another thing. Impatient people can get played easy as well. Let me give you some examples. Politics is one. Any type of work dealing with public service, that nonprofit world. I don't want you getting in the streets, but okay, if you're gonna be a street person, look, I know some street people, and you might not like how I'm saying this or what I'm saying, but they ain't bad people. Those are the circumstances that they are in, and that's what they chose to do from that point. Shucks, I remember at one point I was coaching the AAU basketball team, and one of the local gangsters, some brown paper bag money showed up to help with the kids' uniforms. All right. But if you want to move up in that type of world, it can be like that. In the field of education, I've even seen in some engineering situations where somebody tried to knock on some doors, and to get in that door, you had to, you got to prove your way into the door. Because look, some of these things, some of these proven grounds ain't the grounds you want to be on, okay? I've even seen some churches where people are trying to prove their way into church work, which you shouldn't be trying to do. Look, I've said this before, and I don't know if y'all were paying attention and understood, but don't be trying to force yourself in these situations where you're not even getting paid. There are such things as internships, but you don't want to get in the situation where you're desperate to volunteer. It just doesn't make sense. There are some more prestigious internship opportunities, but that's going to come through like there's a local community college here, and if you want to get on with one of these chemical plants in a higher level, you intern with them in the internship program. But when we're talking about your individual opportunities, that's different. I'm going to go back and watch this video because I feel like I'm rambling. I don't want to say too much, but I don't want to say too little and leave it totally ambiguous. If you don't understand what I'm saying, put it in the comment section. Watch the comments, because I got some older and some experienced guys on here who do understand exactly what I'm talking about. And sometimes they expound. But if I need to go into more detail, ask. But here's the main gist. Be patient. Get your skill set up. Get your experience level up. Learn how to get along with people. Work with people who want to work with you. The better you get at what you do, people will offer you opportunities. Network, because you also might be able to offer other people opportunities. When you can be independent and learn some skills and start your own operation, do it. But don't be to the point where you're like, hey, I need this so bad, I'll do whatever it takes. Because the devil will sit back and say, oh, you will. Okay. So sign your soul on the dotted line and we got you. And I'm going to leave it at that. I am indeed Big Chief Helicopter. My pronoun is that of a helicopter. Helicopters need love too, and that's my right to be called a helicopter. Hit the like button or the dislike button. Either one is okay. Leave your comments. Share this video if you know somebody who's trying to move up in the world so they can move up accordingly. I done came in this place backwards. It's supposed to be a horseshoe, and I done came in backwards, but okay. Anyhow, that's all for this video for now. As always, never lose the will to win. Never lose the will to survive. And share this video, like I said, because I guarantee you somebody can use this content. This is definitely something that young men need to understand so you don't get used and abused. See you on the next video.